Let's be honest, is your workday just chaotic? Do simple tasks get all tangled up in endless approvals and super confusing steps? Well, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden source of all that chaos and show you exactly how to fix it using a really powerful technique called business process modeling. So, you ever have one of those days, you know the ones, where a super simple task just drags on forever, approvals seem to vanish into some kind of black hole, and no one, absolutely no one knows what's supposed to happen next? That feeling like you're trying to sprint through thick mud, yeah, that's not just in your head. It's a huge flashing sign that something fundamental is broken. And that hidden culprit? We call it a broken process. It's like this invisible snag in the whole system that causes delays, forces you to redo work, and just completely drains your team's energy. But here's the most important part. It's only invisible until you actually decide to go looking for it. And once you can see it, well, that's when you can start to fix it.
All right, so let's put on our detective hats for a minute and investigate the crime scene. First things first, what is a process anyway? And how does it all go so wrong?
You know, when you strip it all down, a business process is really just a series of steps you take to get something done. Think about it. Onboarding a new employee, handling a customer complaint, or even something as simple as ordering new pens for the office. These are all processes. They are literally the DNA of how work gets done in any organization.
Okay, so if these broken processes are the bad guys, how in the world do we find them? Well, the very first step, and it's a big one, is to make the invisible visible. We need to draw ourselves a map.
And this is where process mapping comes into play. It's basically our #1 investigative tool. By actually drawing a picture of a workflow, we can stop guessing and start seeing how work really moves through the system. And the real magic here? It's in spotting those hidden bottlenecks and shining a big spotlight on all these opportunities for improvement that were hiding in plain sight.
And look, this isn't some kind of mystical art form. It's a totally structured thing you can do. First, you define your scope. Then, you get input from the people actually doing the work, you draw the map, and then you check it to make sure it's right. Now here's a little pro tip for you. When you're gathering that input, don't just ask people what they do, ask them why they do it that way. You'll be amazed how often you find these ancient steps in a process that literally serve no purpose anymore.
Now, to make sure everybody's reading the map the same way, we use these standardized visual languages. Think of it like this. A circle might always mean start, and a rectangle always means a task. It's a common set of symbols, right? This ensures that a business manager and a software developer can look at the exact same diagram and see the exact same story. The big one, which we'll get to in a minute, is called BPMN.
So once you have your map and you've pinpointed the problems, it's decision time. How are you going to fix it? Fundamentally, you've got two choices.
You can either optimize or you can re-engineer. Optimizing is kind of like a renovation. You're making small tweaks here and there to improve efficiency, maybe using methods like lean to cut out wasteful steps. But re-engineering? Whoa, that's a complete teardown and rebuild. You're not just fixing the process, you're asking if the process should even exist at all. It's definitely higher risk, but the potential payoff, it can be absolutely massive.
So how do you actually get all this done in a modern workplace? Let's take a look at the tools and the tech that really bring process improvement to life.
Hey, remember those standardized languages we just talked about? Well, the most important one by far is BPMN. That stands for Business Process Model and Notation. Just think of it as the universal language for process mapping. Using BPMN means your diagrams are crystal clear and nobody can misinterpret them, which is absolutely critical, especially when you want to automate parts of that process later on.
And of course, you're going to need some software to create these maps. The key is picking the right tool for the job. You know, if you're just dipping your toes in, something like Microsoft Visio works great. If your team is scattered all over the place, a collaborative tool like Lucidchart is a total game changer. And for the really complex enterprise-level stuff, you might look at a dedicated platform like Visagi. The main takeaway here is think about how you work before you pick your tool.
And this, right here, is where all that hard mapping work really pays off: automation. See, once you have a clear, optimized process, you can literally hand that map, that blueprint, straight to your developers. They can use it to build tools that automate all the boring, repetitive manual steps. And that frees up your team to focus on the work that actually needs a creative human brain.
So you've mapped it, you've analyzed it, you've improved your process. You're done, right? Well, not quite.
The final, and you could argue most important phase, is making sure all your hard work actually sticks around.
The real goal here is continuous improvement. Businesses change all the time, so your processes have to change with them. This means you got to be monitoring performance, talking to your people to see what's working and what's not. Think of your process map not as some static picture you hang on the wall, but more like a living, breathing guide that evolves right alongside your business.
And that's really it. That's how you go from total chaos to total clarity. By making those invisible processes at work visible, you give yourself the power to fix them. You've got the fundamental tools now to get started, so the only question left is this. What's the first broken process you're going to map?